Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. So today we have week 5 of the BHDL7, and that is going to be against Twisted Games. So we're going to go ahead and get the battle on its way here momentarily. He has disclosed his Terra types to me, which is Terra Fire Serena and Terra Dark Landorus. So, we're going to go ahead and get the battle on its way here. We've disclosed our Terra types to him as well. And so, yeah, we will see how this works out. So, we've never played this guy before. We don't know much about him. IGN is going to be Tiger. We already know 2 of his Pokemon. But in addition to that, he's also got the Bronzong. He's got the Gumshoes. He's got the Palafin, and he's got the Iron Bundle. Alright, so definitely I am surprised to see this Gumshoes. I was certainly not expecting to see that. That is a huge shock. That thing would come to a game. I do think everything else is more or less what I was expecting. I do think I have some perhaps different things on deck for him as well this week, hopefully. Yeah, so what do I want to lead with here in this matchup? I think I'm not 100% sure, actually. I did have a game plan going in, and now I'm not sure. Let's do Scizor. I think Scizor's the play. A little thrown off by a couple of... I'm a little surprised to see the Bronzong too, actually, to be honest with you guys. I spent a lot of time flip-flopping on what I wanted to bring for this game, probably more so than any other week, so... not too sure how this is going to go, but we'll see how it plays out. He definitely overcompensated for Spectrier, that is for sure, with these picks. So we'll see how it plays out. So definitely need a win here. Let's see if we can make it happen. So there he is. He's going to lead with the Palafin, as I expected, as I led with the Scizor. So the good thing about this is that if he decides to flip turn out, he will in fact take Rocky Helmet Chip. That's kind of why I did this. We are slower than him, so I feel pretty comfortable just firing off a U-turn here. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. He is indeed going to flip turn, so that isn't going to do too much damage to us. He is going to take some Rocky Helmet Chip as well, which is going to be valuable because we don't really have hazards on deck this week. And so, yeah, so Palafin has flip turn. That damage doesn't really tell us too much. He's actually going to come straight in with the Iron Bundle, interestingly enough. We don't see any booster energy. We get a critical hit with a U-turn, which does a ton of damage to that thing, knocks it down to about a third HP, so that is incredible damage. The only problem now is, like, what do we want to do to this thing? So, I don't know, actually. I really don't know. But we got massive damage on this thing. Now, the problem is, Iron Bundle is the one Pokemon that outspeeds our entire team, and he is poised to potentially one-shot us. I think if he specs, he's poised to potentially like get some one-shot action going. I am not sure how I want to handle this, quite honestly, because Iron Bundle is one Pokemon I did have some difficulty trying to game plan. So I kind of want to come in with Spectrier only for the fact... I don't want to come in with Spectrier, though. We'll go for Rotom. We'll come in with Rotom. I full well acknowledge that he's got Freeze Dry. I'm sure he has Freeze Dry, and he could well go for it here. He is going to go ahead and pop some leftovers, it looks like, though. So he's not Specs, which is good to know. So, yeah, so he is leftovers on the Iron Bundle. We should make a note of that. And so what that means is that he can't be Specs, obviously, which means that he's not going to KO us. Now, we could make the obvious play and Volt Switch. We could try to predict the Landorus coming in. I mean, I don't know if he switches Landorus in because that is a very, very risky proposition if he switches Landorus in and we read it and go Hydro Pump. So I feel like Choice Spec Shadow Ball grabs the KO from this range anyway. I feel like he's going to come in with Serena, though. That's the safe play in this situation. So I kind of want to just Volt Switch. So yeah, let's just Volt Switch here, see what he wants to do. He does actually stay in and Freeze Dry for damage, and it does do a lot of damage to us. Takes us down to about a quarter HP, but we do grab the KO with the Volt Switch, which is good. So I'm actually very relieved that that Iron Bundle is down. He drops the 5 Pokemon, and so I'm happy about that because Iron Bundle was a Pokemon that I was very concerned about going into this matchup because it outspeeds my entire team. So that thing being down is really good for us. So the only problem now is we have to bring something in, which means he's going to get a matchup of his choice on us. So the question is, what do we want to do? Because I could come in with Scizor. That is possible. I could. We have a lot of options here, obviously, still. But the question is, like, what do I want to bait him in with? I kind of want to come in with Spectrier, but I kind of don't. If I come in with Spectrier, that at least keeps the Bronzong away, so that might be a good idea. If I come in with Goodra, that might not be bad either. Yeah, let's come in with Goodra. I'll come in with Goodra here. So he will get a matchup on us, obviously. I'm not sure what he's going to want to do in this situation, but he could definitely come in with the Bronzong, which could start setting up like hazards or screens or something, which I do have to be careful of. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. So yeah, there's the Bronzong. So I kind of figured he would do that. So Bronzong is in. Now, I do have a little bit of a choice to make here because I could start setting curses up on this thing, and I don't think it can really do a lot to me in return. It could set screens up. So I kind of want to actually just, because this is a very odd Goodra. This is a physical attacking Goodra this week. So in a way I want to knock off, but in another way I want to curse. I kind of want to curse, although I am dependent. I think the safer play is just to knock off, because I am dependent on Goodra to an extent to try and deal with that Palafin. So we're just going to fire a knockoff here. I think it's too early to set up curse. So I do get a knockoff, does some big damage to that thing, and gets rid of its leftovers, which is nice. He is going to get a Trick Room off, so that's extremely interesting. Okay, so Trick Room is active. So I'm not sure. That is interesting. That is an interesting one. So Trick Room is active. So what do we do here? Because Goodra could actually, if I started cursing there, Goodra could actually benefit from the Trick Room. I'm not sure, besides Gumshoes, I'm not really sure what of his Pokemon benefits from this. But I kind of want to just... I'm not really sure what I want to do here. I kind of want to set up curses, but like I just feel it's too early because Palafin, Landorus, Serena. What else could he do? I'm not really sure. Let's switch out into Rotom, just because Rotom's so weak, I'm not really sure what he's going to do or what he can do. But Rotom is weak, so if he does take us out, it's not the end of the world. He does Calm Mind, so that's an interesting prospect. So he's going to go ahead, so he's Trick Room, Calm Mind. That is an interesting prospect. And he has no item because we knocked him off. I think we just go Choice Specs Shadow Ball here. I think that's the play. I mean, he might have an attack to take us out, but either way, I think just Choice Spec Shadow Ball is the play here. He does go for a Rock Slide, interestingly enough, and we actually do tank at 23 HP. We go for a nice Choice Spec Shadow Ball. Can we take him out at plus? He's at +1, and it's not quite enough to take him out, unfortunately. So this is I'm very surprised by his this Bronzong set is very interesting. So Trick Room, Calm Mind, Rock Slide. I'm not sure what his last move is. Unfortunately, we can't. I don't think based on the damage we can take another Rock Slide. But I mean, I don't really want to switch. So yeah, let's just Shadow Ball. We're eating the Trick Room turns either way. He goes for a Rock Slide. Yeah, we can't take it. So we do lose Rotom, which is a little unfortunate. But Rotom goes down, and Trick Room is still active here. So Knowing that, we could come in with Scizor and just bullet punch this thing. We could come in with Spec, because I doubt whatever he goes for is going to take us out. I think he's got one turn of Trick Room left. How do we want to play this? Kind of want to just come in with Spectrier here. Yeah, I think we're going to come in with Spectrier here. So we'll come in with Spectrier. Now, I understand the Trick Room is up, and he will outspeed us, but I can't imagine this thing can really do a ton to us. Yeah, he's got one turn of the Trick Room left, which is perfect. Do we get a sub up, or do we try to get a nasty plot up? Not sure. I feel like sub is more beneficial. So let's try to get a sub up, maybe. Or let's get a nasty plot. Or do we not? Or do we sub? I don't know. We could just take him out with a Shadow Ball. Yeah, let's just take him out with the Shadow Ball. He does actually switch. Okay, so we could have done something else, but he's probably he could come in with Gumshoes here. Yeah, I kind of figured. Okay, so we are going to Shadow Ball into the normal type, which is not great. So that's not good. So Trick Room is over, which is good. He doesn't really know anything about our set, which is good. I feel like our best play here, we don't 100% know what this thing is going to do. But I think our best play is probably Scizor in this situation. I don't really know much of anything about Gumshoes because you just never really see it. I'm not sure even like what kind of coverage this thing gets. It does get, like, it's a normal type, so it gets a lot of different moves, obviously. And it is more of a physical attacker than a special attacker as well. See, I'm kind of okay with risking the Scizor here just because, like... Yeah, we'll go Scizor. Just because, like, he does have Terrafire Serena, so that is really going to massively limit what Scizor can do. So we'll come in with Scizor. I mean, if he predicts this and goes for the fire move, yeah, he does. That sucks. Okay, so we just get destroyed. He does take Rocky Helmet damage, so that sucks. Okay, so we know he has Fire Punch, but Scizor is down, and we go down to 4, so that's not good. The only good thing about that is we know that he is... we can come in with Indeedee now. That's the only good thing. So we're going to come in with Indeedee, and we're going to get the Psychic Surge, set the Psychic Terrain on the battlefield. And so Bronzong is so chipped at this point that I don't think he survives anyway. If he tries to switch Bronzong in on the Expanding Force, I don't think it matters. So we're just going to go for the Expanding Force here. He could switch to try to save it, obviously. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out here. He does have that Terra Dark Landorus we have to be careful about. We also have to be careful of our Psychic Terrain turns, obviously. So the question is, how do we want to handle this? Or how does he want to handle this? It does suck to lose Scizor like that, not going to lie, because that could have been helpful. But, yeah. Not much we can do at this point. So, we do have to be careful here. We don't know... Okay, so he does withdraw. What does he switch into? It is going to be the Bronzong. Okay, so that thing does come in. It does X4 resist the Psychic move. Do we get the KO on the first one? We do. Okay, so Bronzong goes down there. So that was just a sack switch. He goes down to 4. So that's not the end of the world. It is actually kind of not great, though, because we could have, in a way, used that Bronzong to set up on with one of our other Pokemon. So that is actually not, like, best case scenario for us. But we do have it out of the way, so that is something. And we do have the Psychic Terrain up, which means no priority, which is good. So we don't have to worry about Palafin too much right now. But yeah, we'll see what he wants to come in with here. He is going to come in with the Serena. Okay. So that thing is in. We know it's Terra Fire. We could just hit it really hard with an Expanding Force. That might be worth it. Maybe not. See, we lost our best. Scizor was like our best answer to Serena, and obviously that's gone. I feel like hitting this thing as hard as possible with an expanding force is probably the play here. Even if we lose Indeedee, I feel like that's the play. So, yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so we get him with a Scarf. We catch him off guard with the Scarf and hit him with that expanding force. Does massive damage to that thing. He does knock us off, which not quite enough to grab the KO, but it does knock our Scarf off, which is not good. So, now we're in an interesting situation because this thing is massively chipped, which is nice. But the question is, does he have speed investment and or is he Scarf? Because we could, if he, so we have a difficult decision to make here because he could be Scarf, that is possible. I wonder if he is. I wonder if he's Scarf. Could he be Scarf on this thing? How many more turns of Psychic Terrain do we have left? You have to watch that. 3 more turns. Okay. How do we want to play this? So unless he's speed invested, we will outspeed him. Yeah, let's just risk it. Let's go Expanding Force. Okay, I think he's Scarf. He takes us out with the U-turn. Okay, so, or no, he's not Scarf, but he is massively speed invested. So that thing is 1,000,000% speed invested because he takes us out with a Scarf. So that sucks. Or not a Scarf, I'm sorry. Scarf, but... so we know he's got knock and U-turn. So we have very, very limited window of opportunity at this point to get our Hitmonlee in and try to pop the Unburden off, which is unfortunate. But we did get some very needed chip damage on that Serena, which is good. So he is going to come in with Landorus now. So that thing is in. And so we know it's Terra Dark. So the question is, what do we do? That's the question. What do we do? We could come in, I feel like we probably just have to come in with Hitmonlee. Because we just don't have turns. That's the problem, is we just don't have turns. Yeah, this is not going exactly the way that I'd hoped it would for sure. Yeah, I mean, this is really now or never, I think, with Hitmonlee, to get that special defense boost, because we know this thing's going to try to hit us from the special side. Yeah, I guess, I mean, we're kind of in a corner at this point, so we're going to go ahead and come in with Hitmonlee, and we're going to go ahead and pop that Psychic Seed, and we're going to go ahead and get that big special defense boost. And so I think the question at this point is, how do we play this? And I feel like, I mean, we could, the Swords Dance obviously is a very, very risky prospect. The Terra is a risky prospect because he could have like poison. He could go for poison attack, but if we don't Terra, he could go for something else. So I guess we could just go Terra Grass and Swords Dance, or we could, I don't think we're going to Terra. I think we do maybe Swords Dance though. Or we could, you know what, we could just knock off actually. We know we outspeed him. Yeah, let's hit him with a knockoff. I don't want to Terra. He could Terra Dark though. No, he doesn't. So we get a knockoff, which does massive damage. Gets rid of his Roselia Berry. That's it. Okay, he does Sludge Wave. So we are able to tank that relatively well because we didn't Terra Grass. So, okay, so that kind of worked out a little bit. We may have been better off going for... now, the question is, does the Terra Blast kill him from this range? And I'm not sure that it... Without the Swords Dance, I'm not sure that it does. Where is it? We don't have much time to think about this. Yeah, it doesn't... I mean, it's a roll, I think, depending on how invested he is. I think we just have to go for it, though. Yeah, it is a roll. So, yeah, I mean, the Terrablast Grass is a roll whether or not it's going to KO him or not. But, I mean, it's a roll we have to take because we're kind of out of options at this point. So we're going to go Terra Grass this turn, and we're going to hit him up with that Terrablast Grass. We know how to speed him. Is it going to be enough? Come on, Hitmonlee. Can we do it? Not quite. That's unfortunate. He Earth Powers this time, though. Okay, so that's amazing, actually. So that actually works out really well for us. Okay, so we are flying by the skin of our teeth with these predictions here. Definitely going to Terrablast Grass again to take this thing out, no questions asked. So yeah, we're definitely we weren't enough to take him out, but we got some pretty amazing Terra predictions there, which worked out in our favor. That's for sure. And we know we can't take another Terrablast. That's also for sure. So, how is this going to play out? Does he switch to try and save this thing? Or does he let it go? If he switches and we get some big damage on something else, that would be totally fine. Okay, he does switch. Okay, so what does he bring in here, though? That's the question. Brings the Serena in. Okay, so that's an interesting play. So Serena comes in. We get a Terrablast Grass on this thing. And not quite enough to grab the KO, actually, interestingly enough. But we know that we outspeed this thing. So going for a simple knockoff will just finish this thing off, no questions asked. So that's what we're going to do here. So, yeah, so it didn't really matter. The survive on the Terrablast didn't really matter there. So Serena's down. He's down to 3. And we knock off the heavy-duty boots, which is fine. That doesn't really matter. So we're flying by the seat of our pants here. Hitmonlee might be in a position to do something here. Not sure. So he's going to come in with the Gumshoes. So I know exactly what he's doing here. So Gumshoes comes in. We have to see something real fast here. Gumshoes. I mean, we have to close combat. Like, there's no question. There's no question we have to close combat because if this thing would work, that would be amazing. Yeah, Terrablast Grass 100% will not do enough damage to take this thing down, so we just have to close combat here. It does double switch us, though. That's unfortunate. Oh. He's fishing. He's wanted to fish for those defense drops. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So we smash this thing with a close combat, takes it out. The Landorus, which is nice, but yeah, we could have. This is what the unfortunate thing. So Palafin, if it's choice banned, now will take us out, no questions asked. So that's the problem that's the situation we were trying to avoid. Yep, there's Palafin. So if Palafin is choice banded, it definitely grabs the KO with Jet Punch here. I think. Yeah, because after the defense drop, there's just no way. That's not what I wanted. It would have probably been a roll, though, either way, because of how chipped we are, it would have, I think, actually been a roll either way. But knowing he's going to Jet Punch, do we just make the super bold play and switch into Goodra? I feel like that's a bad move, though. Maybe not, though. Because we still could use Hitmonlee for the Gumshoes. Yeah, let's do it. I feel like Jet Punch is super obvious right now. We're playing with fire, I understand that. We could have let Hitmonlee go, but we'll come in with Goodra. as he is going to Jet Punch. And we take, actually it's not Choice Banded, interestingly enough. Okay, so it's not banded damage. Get some HP back with the leftovers. So really what this is a matter of at this point is I feel like we just need chip. I don't want to risk the Power Whip miss, so I think we just need chip on this thing, and I think just clicking Outrage is probably the smartest play at this point, because we just need chip. That's all we need is chip, and we need the most chip we can get, so Outrage it is. There's the Ice Punch. He's not banded, so we know we take it just barely, 55 HP in the red. We go for a nice Outrage here. Does a lot of damage to the Palafin, obviously not quite enough. But it does obviously do a ton of damage to the Palafin. We get some HP back with the leftovers, and obviously there's no way we take another one, but Goodra did its job. It got the chip, and that is 100% what we needed, is we needed the chip in that situation. So Goodra's down. We're down to 2. So now what we have to do is we have to come in with Spectrier. There's no question. We have to come in with Spectrier. So the question is, do we go for... I don't think we click Shadow Ball here. I think we click Draining Kiss. I think the play is either to Nasty Plot or to Draining Kiss. I think Nasty Plot's too risky. I think Draining Kiss takes this thing out. From this range, I think Draining Kiss takes it out, because we are max special attack. If we could load, that would be nice. Be real nice. Come on. If we could load, that would be amazing. Draining Kiss actually doesn't take him out. I feel like we have to Draining Kiss, though. Yeah, he does switch. Okay, we could have got a nice sub-up or something. So we are going to get a Draining Kiss on the Gumshoes, though, which is good. So Gumshoes is in. We get a Draining Kiss. Does not do a lot, that's for sure. Does not do a lot. I think our play at this point is probably to sub. I think that's our play, is to sub. We could Nasty Plot, but I want to scout this thing. So yeah, let's sub. See what he wants to do. So he does stay in, obviously. He doesn't go for like a Sucker Punch. I don't know if it gets it. So we get a sub up. What does he go for? He goes Fire Punch. Okay. So he probably predicted the switch into the Hitmonlee there, interestingly enough. So I'm not quite sure how much damage is gonna happen here. Let's see. This is a showdown that I never thought I would see. That's for sure. We have to either Draining Kiss or Nasty Plot. Okay, I think Nasty Plot's the play, honestly. I think Nasty Plot's the play. I think Nasty Plot's the play, because we're not doing enough damage with Draining Kiss otherwise, so we have to Nasty Plot. Is he, like, banded or something? He goes for a Fire Punch. Takes us down below half, quite a bit of damage. We do get some HP back with the leftovers, so that's something. So I think the best case scenario here is we just have to, now that we're Nasty Plotted, I think now we just Draining Kiss out, I think, is the play. Not quite enough to take him out, obviously. Get some nice HP back. Not quite full. Now he knocks off, and that kills. Oh, no, that's not good. So he wasn't banded the whole time. He wasn't. Yeah, I think we just lost. So all this time I thought he was Choice, but he wasn't. So he was just Fire Punching, predicting a switch. So yeah, we lost. Because we can outspeed this thing and grab the KO, but Palafin just KOs us. So yeah, I mean, we can outspeed this thing and KO it with Hitmonlee all we want, but Palafin is just going to come in and take us out with with an ice punch. Oh, that's very, very, very unfortunate. So close. We were so close. We were so close. We were so close. This is really disappointing. We were so close. Yeah, there's not a chance in hell we outspeed this thing. We were so close. That really sucks. Yep, there's the ice punch. That sucks. That really sucks. We were so close. Man, that really sucks. Well, that's game, folks. Hitmonlee goes down, and that's game. We were so close. That's really disappointing. So we're going to win 1-0. Lose 1-0, sorry. Lose 1-0 there to Tiger/Twisted Games. Really close match. Yeah, I feel like he did do what he had to do, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, we could have possibly, maybe we could have done something different. I don't know. I don't think that we played around his threats as good as we could have, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we could have done something differently. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's really disappointing. I feel like we shouldn't have lost that game. But, you know, I think we were our own worst enemy there. Yeah, I don't think we didn't do what we had to do, that's for sure, because yeah, I mean, I guess we could have. I don't know how we could have played out of that end game, honestly, but yeah, I don't know. Not a good feeling, but yeah. So with that, we are going to drop to a 2-3 record here in the BHDL7. Yeah, that is super disappointing. We really needed to win this one, so that's super disappointing. But it is what it is. So really close game nonetheless. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and/or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.